Hello, accountability buddies. This is Les with another episode of Less is More Healthy. And I'm back out exploring my city. Today I'm in a small local park called Colgate Park. It is at the end of Colgate Street. Very excellent naming here. And it was a bit of a chore to get up in here. Quite an incline. Well, it wasn't that much of an incline. It was just a slow, long incline. But like most of the parks in Beverly, and certainly in my neighborhood, this is in my neighborhood. I think it was maybe a mile away from my house, if that. The park has swings. I'm on one of them now. I haven't been on a swing in years, and I can't touch the ground here. Um, but yeah, so there are swings here, and then there's a little slide over there, and a small jungle gym. Um, Most of the parks in my city have jungle gyms and some playground equipment, which kind of, skirts the is this a park or is this a playground? I'm not sure. The only reason I was able to find the trails, they are not marked. There are trails here. This is quite an extensive green space, um, and it butts up against the golf course on one end. There's a trail over there, and it looks like there's one over there that's quite a bit wider. They do look like walking trails, not biking trails, but that's fine. Anyway, there's also a large lawn space and a little pond. So yeah, I'm gonna pan around so that you can see the pond here. Um, Once I figure out, all right, there we go. All right, so swing, slide, jungle gym, then spacious lawn area for playing games and whatnot, and then the pond, um, which may or may not have a creek or something associated with it, is over here. I did a coffee outside episode, and then promptly, as I was picking up, accidentally knocked over my coffee. I did not pick the smoothest location to make my coffee. Should have stepped back a little bit from the edge of the pond. But yeah, so here's a little pond. Does not look like anywhere anyone would like to swim. It's probably pretty muddy, but you know what? You never know in the heat of the summer what someone's going to do. And of course, because if I'd investigated a little more, I would have come right on over here and did coffee outside. But of course, there are liquor bottles in there, glass bottles floating in here, and broken glass. So people suck. Some cattails. It's rather pretty in here and over here, with the exception of the liquor bottles. So anyway, yeah, just kind of nice, cute little park here. Plenty to see. Not a lot to do unless you're, you know, taking a break. You got kids. You got a ball. You're gonna play like that. But yeah, it's scenic. It's nice, and I kind of like it. So I what I wanted today's topic is when compliments don't hit right, and or people try to give you a compliment and it comes out sideways, or perhaps someone's giving you a backhanded compliment. So I'm going to use an example of when a compliment hit properly first. So I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. We struggle with some of the same female health problems, PCOS. She has that, and endometriosis. And so we were just kind of like, we were talking about how difficult these things are on many levels. And then we had a further conversation about health and fitness. We're doing some of the same stuff for health and fitness, and how we were both worried about keeping up our gains over the winter. So, and then we were talking about progress, and we were, giving each other kind of like a verbal high five for making progress. And when she gave me the compliment, it came across as really genuine, felt really good, and didn't feel disingenuous or pandering or any of that. It just maybe it was because it was coming from someone who was also struggling with the same sort of things I struggled with. Or maybe it's because it came from someone who I'm a friend with. I don't know. But then, actually, this happened a couple of weeks ago and before the conversation with my friend. So, yeah, a couple of weeks ago, more of an acquaintance and a friend said that what I was doing in terms of my health and fitness was important and inspirational. And I don't know why, but initially I was like, kind of like did one of those kind of like thanks kind of things. And I was trying to think about why that didn't hit right with me. And I know it doesn't, on the surface of it, probably doesn't sound like that should have hit wrong. Um, but it did. And so I was thinking about it, and part of it I think is certainly because this person doesn't have the same struggles that I do. They're not going through the same thing that I'm going through. Um, and I think like sometimes when someone gives you a compliment, they're not really thinking about the context of the compliment and what that might sound like to you. I have a mentor who everyone told you're such an inspiration, and she would always get really angry with that because the reason she was inspirational to people is because she was blind. And now this is someone who just did whatever she wanted. She lived a rich, full life, did all sorts of like amazing things. And to her, it had nothing to do with her being blind. She was perfectly able to do all of the things that she did. And she was a wonderful mentor. But she would always say that the reason she got upset when people told her she was inspirational, because she would say the only reason I'm inspirational to some of these people is because I'm blind. They don't care about the things I'm doing. They just see that I have a job and I'm college educated and I'm blind. She's like, that has nothing to do with why I'm inspirational. And to me, that's true. Like, she did amazing things, and none of it had to do with her being blind. But I guess that's always given me kind of a context for like why sometimes these comments about being inspirational are come don't feel right when they're in person. Like certainly like the content that I'm creating for YouTube should feel more inspirational, because my hope is that maybe sharing my struggles with type 2 diabetes, maybe sharing my perspective on type 2 diabetes, my perspective on health and fitness might inspire someone to go out and maybe buy a used bike and get out there and ride their bike, and maybe they'll fall in love with it the way that I've fallen in love with cycling again. Or maybe people will start hiking, and maybe they'll start taking better care of themselves so that their type 2 diabetes can be kept in check. But that's the sort of inspirational content that I want to create. And, to me, inspiration is less about like this than doing the work. Like I have a very workmanlike attitude towards everything. You get in there, you do the work, you get started, and inspiration comes. And so that's a very long way of me saying, like, well, I appreciated the compliment from this acquaintance. I really wish she would think about the wording of inspiration and the meaning behind it. And what does it actually mean to her to say that I'm an inspiration? What does that mean? Because I don't know what it means in the context of what she was saying. Yeah, so anyway, that's today's episode. What is the meaning of inspiration in different contexts? Is it insulting? Is it? And I'm gonna say it flat out. Like, I know this person wasn't intending to be insulting. I know for a fact that this person was attempting to be kind, and it just hit wrong. That wasn't her intent. It just hit wrong because it was the wrong moment. it was the wrong conversation to use that word. And maybe for her, it was the right moment. I don't know. It's all about perspective, right? So, anyway, with that, I say thank you. And I will see you next time. And I hope that you find some usefulness in this content in some sort of way, and that it might help you get out there, get on a bike, go for a hike, do something. Just do something. Just go enjoy yourself. Anyway, with that, thank you, and I will see you next time.